Oh boy. The UK wants to redistribute farmland.
We're on that stage of communism? Already?
Oh, it's not communism! It's an inheritance tax! Why shouldn't farmers have to pay one?
Are we really having the why shouldn't we extort the people who feed us conversation?
Many farmers won't have the cash to pay their inheritance tax, which means they'll need to go into debt to the big banks or sell off their land. So now on top of the regular costs associated with farming, they'll also need to tack on interest payments to the cost of the food they're selling, or they'll just have less land to farm with, which could also drive costs up.
So what? They're rich! The crime isn't that they want to tax farmers in the UK, it's that we aren't doing it in the US! Our farmers are literal millionaires!
That's deceptive. American family farmers often have relatively high net worths, but that doesn't mean they're rich in the traditional sense. It just means that farming is incredibly expensive and you need a lot of assets to do it. Land, equipment, labor. The net worth for the median farmer is 1.4 million, but the annual income for the median farmer is $97,000 per year.
97,000's a lot!
Yeah, but they work 65-hour-long weeks, so that 97K factors out to 28 bucks an hour. Which is a good hourly wage on its face, but to do back-breaking labor all day while taking on the liability of $1.4 million worth of equipment and assets, you'd think 28 bucks an hour in return is so unreasonable that they need to be subjected to higher taxes?
Not to mention, they're providing one of the most basic and important things you can provide to a society. For some perspective, if their $1.4 million net worth was in an S&P 500 instead of farmland, it could generate an average of $98K per year. That's with no labor, meaning farmers make less money doing back-breaking labor to make our food than they could theoretically make by providing zero labor.
Yeah, the incentives to farm already aren't great.
Yeah, right. So then why are they doing it?
96% of farms are family owned, so in many cases, they do it because farming has been in their family for generations, which is what allowed them to build up the land assets and skills that they have in the first place. Inheriting that land is a huge part of what makes it possible for family farmers to earn a living producing food for us.
Okay, so they aren't like rich, whatever. So what? If farmers had to sell off their assets, it would drive down the price of land and more new farmers could buy that land.
Now hold on, land would change hands more often, sure, but farming isn't the only lucrative use of land, so there's a good chance it would be used for something else. Even if it wasn't, agriculture isn't an industry that exists to give everyone a turn playing farmer. Farming isn't easy, and modern farming requires not only an immense amount of labor, but a high degree of technical knowledge. It's not something anyone can just step into. Allowing people who have proven themselves as farmers to retain their farmland isn't just a good idea, it's the only idea that won't result in a reduced food supply.
Oh, so now food's the most important thing in the world?
Kind of, yeah.
It's more propaganda from Big Pharma.
Want more food for thought? Get it? Subscribe. Go to fee.org. Learn more about all of this.